Hi everyone, Velvet here, and I have some stories for you today. But before we get started, can you please do me a huge favor and like, comment, and subscribe? It'll really help the channel out, and it'll get you more videos like this every day. Let's get started. And our first one comes from Overall Sherbert 355. Am I the beehole for refusing to hand over my college fund for my little sister's surgery? I, a 17-year-old male, am the oldest kid in my family. My parents have two bio kids, me and my 12-year-old sister, and they adopted my four other siblings. I had dozens of foster siblings over the years as well. My parents have struggled to make time and have the money for all of us. It has meant a lot of sacrificing, and mostly on my part. My parents were able to make sure all my younger siblings had at least one activity out of school to do, but they never did that for me. I was forced to play football when I was 5, but by that time I was 7. My parents had started fostering, and I was no longer doing that. My siblings all got something they liked. Cora got to dance, for example. Some of my other siblings are in music classes. The younger kids were also prioritized with school field trips, so they always got to go, while I haven't been since I was 6. The last time I was asked when I was about 9, and my parents told me to work for the money to pay. My grandparents found out what they said and gave me the money, and my parents took it off me for use for the household. My grandparents were so mad at them for that. They delayed my tonsil surgery by 2 years because they prioritized the two foster kids and two of my siblings' surgeries over mine. My grandparents saw how much I was getting the short end of everything with my parents, and they set up a college fund for me. It's a lot of money and really caught me off guard. My parents know about it and cannot access it. They only know because of a fight with my grandparents over the lack of saving for my future when they have saved something for my siblings. My parents said the money my grandparents saved, should be divided equally because 350,000 is a lot to save for one grandchild when you have multiple. That money is still there and I have plans for it, but my youngest sister is 5 and she needs a pretty major stomach surgery. She's had a lot of health troubles since her birth and my parents have paid a lot of money on her medical expenses. They were told the surgery could turn her life around and give her a chance at living with less pain and stomach complications. It could give her a more normal childhood because she can't do a lot. They don't have the money for surgery, and they want me to give them the money to pay for it and for the expenses afterward. They said they need 270,000 for the whole thing, and maybe they can give some of it back, what, like $100? But they might need even more if stuff gets more complicated. I told them they can't have the money, and they lost it and told me I was being selfish, and I argued back that they take from me all the time. I asked why they didn't take the money they saved for all my siblings and use that. Why does it have to be mine? They say I'm putting my college before my sister's future, and accuse me of being unwilling because she's my sister through adoption and not my bio sister. Am I the beehole? Okay, OP. You, from what I hear in the story, you are not the beehole. Your bio parents are the beehole. Why are they treating their bio children worse than their stepchildren? And why are they fostering all these children when they can't financially afford it? Aren't foster homes supposed to send follow-up people to check how, the kids are living, and wouldn't they be able to see that you are being, mistreated and handle it that way? But personally, it sounds like you got great grandparents. For a quick way out, see if you can go live with them. Sounds like they take you in. They're over there. They're the ones planning for your future, while your parents seem to not care about you or your future, and seem to be only focusing on the foster children, which is really jacked up. And in the story, they put off your tonsil surgery for how long? But they want, and they didn't make any of the other kids. They didn't want to use their money to help you. So when one of their other children is in a situation for, surgery and medical stuff, they want you to sacrifice your future for her future. How is that fair? Oh, you're not thinking about her future, but they're not thinking about yours. Either way, a kid's going to lose a future, and it doesn't sound like she's going to cease to be on this earth. It sounds like she's in pain, but like you said, can't they save up for it? Can't they use the money they saved for the other ones to pay for her? I It sounds like they just don't like their own child and they have no problems making life worse for them. Well, for you, OP. I mean, it sounds like they don't want you there. If I were you, see if you can go. Like I said, go see if you can live with your grandparents. Sounds like they love you. They love you a lot to give you. That's a lot of money to save up for your college. I'm pretty sure you're covered unless you want to be like a doctor or something. So yeah, don't give them that money. Go see if you can live with your grandparents and Yeah, I feel for you. That's messed up. Maybe call CPS on them because it sounds like they can't give those children a good life. Just a thought. Took a look down in the comments, and yeah, this pretty much sums it up. Campfires in Converse says, not the beehole. Please move in with your grandparents. Don't give any of your college money to your parents. It's meant for you. It was saved for you. It was put away for your future. A college degree will help set up and support yourself, and you need to support yourself. Obviously, your parents will not. Your parents are abusive, manipulative, greedy people who only think about what they want. Yes, they are selfish. Taking in foster kids doesn't automatically make you a wonderful person who makes great choices. They're obsessed with taking kids, even if they don't have the necessary time or resources, and even if that means neglecting you. If you give them the money, you will never ever get it back. This is me talking right here, 100% true. I don't even think they'll give you back 100 like I said in the beginning. But back to the comment. Then another foster kid with another medical issue will need the rest of your money, and you, again, like your whole life, will have nothing. Please leave and go to college. I agree with you 100%. Did they just like collecting kids, or is it the financial benefit? Like, doesn't the government pay you if you foster kids? Something like that, right? I've never looked into fostering a child. Something like that, maybe, because that's the only thing I can think of. But yeah, OP, if you can, get out of there and do not give them your money. That is your money for your future. You need to protect yourself because it sounds like they're not going to protect you. And our next one comes from Cautious Hat 9697. Am I the beehole for calling the cops on my mother? I didn't think I'd need to come back here so soon. So I, a 22-year-old female, received a visit from my mom for New Year's. She came with one of my cousins and we hung out for a couple days, and it was great. The only time things were bad is when she asked if I could loan her about $500, and she'd promised to cash at me back the money, back when she got paid next time. I told her no. She tried to argue with me, but I shut her down, and she let it go. A week later, I noticed my credit card was missing. I don't use it very often, usually just for a couple automatic bills. I had logged into my account online to pay my balance since the check came through that morning, and I saw that my balance was much higher than I expected. There were 3 charges I expected: my electric bill, my phone bill, and some gas, and then several charges that I knew weren't for me. They were for fast food, clothing places, etc. I thought it might be a glitch, so I called my credit card company and checked my wallet for my card. I realized it was missing, and a nice customer service rep helped me with the whole process. But then I started walking through everyone my wallet had been around, and every place it had been left since my first physical use of it. I ended up texting my mom because it was stressing me out, and I felt like I needed to talk to one of my parents. But my dad and I aren't on great terms. When I told my mom what happened, she told me not to worry and that it wasn't stolen. She had just borrowed it. To be honest, I did lose my cool once I realized she wasn't joking. She insisted she'd cash at me the money when she gets paid the next day, and thought she'd be able to do it and handle it before I even noticed. I told her that it's not acceptable, and to cut up my card. I deactivated it anyway. She got upset and told me to stop throwing a fit, that she can't believe I'm being such a brat about helping her. Things escalated from there. And I did call her some names before telling her to not contact/come around me and hang up. After that, I called the police both in my area and in hers to see which precinct I needed to file charges with. My mom has blown up my phone so much since that I had to block her, and she's posting all over Facebook about how I'm getting her thrown back into jail just for borrowing some money, and how she can't understand how she raised such a stingy child. Am I the beehole, or am I losing my mind? I don't think I did anything wrong here. Edit. Good God, I didn't expect that much feedback. I posted this before I went into work, and I've been working through a serious customer rush since. I don't have that much of my break left, so I can't reply to many comments until later. OP, you are not the beehole. Don't ever think you're the beehole in this situation. Someone who you trusted, who shouldn't steal from you, stole from you, and is now treating you like you're the crazy person. That's gaslighting. Why are you being such a brat? No, I just borrowed it. No. That is a thief. Your mother stole from you, and a credit card theft is Not fun to deal with, believe me, I've had mine stolen. That was not a fun morning to wake up to. What makes it worse for me, she's using it on useless crap like fast food and clothing. Like, it's still wrong, but I get it if she went and bought stuff at like a grocery store, food that she can cook and that'll last her days instead of just going in and blowing it out nonsense. That's gonna, last her probably a day. Well, when I was reading through the story, I was gonna be like, call the police, which you did, thank God, yes, press all the charges against her because she is a thief. If that was someone you didn't know and they took your credit card, you would be out for blood. So do not, let up, follow through, and get her thrown back into jail. That's not someone who should be walking around the street who's willing to steal from their own flesh and blood like that. Jeez, that's a terrible mother and a terrible person. Yeah, OP, you are not the beehole. Do not lose your mind, because you were in the right. You were a victim, and that person was supposed to, be someone you trust, and they took your card and spent it on just useless crap. OP, yeah, not the beehole. 127,000% not the beehole. And our final one comes from Platinum Bicycle. Am I the beehole for taking a family heirloom when I have not been a part of the family for decades? Not in the US. My 21-year-old female. Parents had me when they were in college. After a year, my mom left us. Her name remained on my birth certificate, but my dad had all the rights to me. My dad and his older sister raised me until my aunt married when I was 9, and then it was just me and my dad. A few months ago, I was contacted by my mom. She was sick and dying and wanted to see me. I was kind of curious for my other family and wanted to meet her. My mom married and had another daughter, Mindy, age 17, and a son, age 13. Her 2 siblings were also there when I visited her. I wanted to say it was an emotional reunion, but I seriously don't know this woman, and she was pale and weak on her bed. So other than some sympathy and pity, I didn't feel much for her. Everyone left except for her nurse. We talked and updated each other about our lives. She did fine for herself, and I'm in a good school, so nothing much to worry about. Before I left, she gave me a gold and diamond bracelet, saying it was my grandmother's, and made her nurse act as a witness. I took it. Her nurse said that she needed to rest, and I left her side. I didn't really talk much with my mom's new family or my aunt and uncle, because they didn't seem to want to talk to me, so I kinda nodded at them and left. My mom passed a month ago. I attended the funeral along with my dad. I wore the bracelet, and at least a few family members saw it. My mom's sister contacted me a week ago, saying the bracelet should be Mindy's, as it was supposed to pass from the oldest daughter to the oldest daughter in our family. She said I have not been a part of the family until like a month ago, and I didn't deserve the bracelet. Well, sorry, I'm breaking character a little bit, but that's not your fault. She left you guys. Sorry, back to the story. I told her that my mom gave it to me with the nurse as a witness, and the bracelet is mine. I said if they want it so bad, I'm willing to sell it to them. She called me a selfish beehole, and said the bracelet carries a lot of sentimental value for the family. And I only saw money. She also said my mom was sick and incapable of making any logical decisions, and I took advantage of her unwell state. When I had just accepted the bracelet, she said I was robbing Mindy of a chance to carry on the tradition, and that she loves the bracelet, and I just stole it from her. Again, I said they could buy it from me at a reasonable price. I think I offered a perfectly reasonable solution. Am I the beehole? Hi, OP. I'm gonna go with you're not the beehole. Like I said before, a little back into the story, that's not your fault that you weren't a part of her family. She abandoned you. She left you. So not much you could do there, and I'm not going to go find someone who didn't want me, and so she called you back in when she was getting ready to leave this world. So yeah, not much you could do there. And like you said, and I like that excuse, oh, she wasn't in her right mind. Sounded like she was fine. They didn't tell you anything when you were talking to her. So she gave you the bracelet. You had the nurse as a witness. So that means it's your property and you can do with it as you will. And maybe I'm a little bit biased, but I am not fond of the name Mindy. So I already don't like Mindy. A little bit of bias, But yeah, I think your solutions is fine. If they want it so bad and it's so sentimental and they want it, they just gotta have it. Buy it. I agree with you, OP. Sell it to them. I think you're even being nice selling it at a reasonable price. Personally, I would go get it appraised and then jack up the price and sell it to them because they sound like a bunch of pricks and they don't deserve kindness like that, to me at least. But yeah, OP, you are not the beehole. That is your bracelet. You sell it, you keep it, you light it on fire, bury it. It's your property. You do with it as you will. It was given to you. And screw those, goobers who are trying to get the bracelet from you. OP, you are not the beehole. Thank you so much for staying with me to the end of this video. Can you please do what I said in the beginning and like, comment, and subscribe? It will really help the channel out, and it'll get you more videos like this every day. Velvet out.